Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, see you again with me, and for today we will learn thematic IPA with Miss Listi, and our topic today is about force and motion. What is that? Let's check it out my video. And now let's discuss the definition of force and the definition of motion. First, definition of force. Force is an energy that causes the object's position, moves, and the object's direction or shape change. In bahasa, force ya, sebuah energi yang menyebabkan posisi dari sebuah benda itu berpindah dan berubah arah atau berubah bentuk. Force can be called a push or pull. Do you remember push and pull? You pull an object resulting from the object's interaction with another object. Jadi, force itu, teman-teman, adalah energi yang menyebabkan sebuah benda itu berpindah posisi atau arah atau berubah bentuk. That is force. Force itself in bahasa is tekanan. Next, definition of motion. What is that? Motion is a movement from one place to another. Jadi motion itu adalah perpindahan dari satu tempat ke tempat yang lain. Motion can be called a movement of certain objects' position from other objects, go forward or go back from its position when there is a force upon the object. Jadi motion itu adalah perpindahannya. Sedangkan force itu adalah energi yang menyebabkan benda itu berpindah atau berubah arah atau berubah bentuk. Can you get the point? Good. Types of forces and the example. There are many types of forces based on the sources that do the force. First type is muscle force. The example of that is when the man is pushing the cart. The cart can move the position because the man used muscle to move the position of the cart. So it is the example of muscle force. Next is electric force. The example of that is when the lamp is lighting. The light can be turned on or light because the lamp uses electric force. Magnetic force. The example of that is when the magnet can pull or the nail can stick on the magnet. Gravitational force. When the fruit can be fall down from the tree. That is the example of gravitational force. The last is friction force. The man or the boy give the friction force to the chair. So the chair can be moved easily. That is the types of force and the example. The next we will discuss about force affect the object's motion. There are some effects of force to object. First is force affects object from stopping to moving. For example of that is when the boy is pushing or pulling the door. The activity of opening and closing the door that affect object from stopping to moving. All activity that using pulling and pushing make the object stopping to moving. The second is force effect object from moving to stopping. For example, the first picture, the bus is running on. But when the girl asks to the bus to stop, then the driver stepping on the bus brake, so the bus start to slow and then stop. The activity show that force effect object from moving to stopping. The third is force affect the shape of the object. For example, when a children plays a plasticine and then the plasticine can be changed the shape because the children give force to the plasticine so the plasticine can change the shape. So force affects the shape of the object. Fourth, force affects the direction of object's movement. For example, when the girl is give the ball force, so the ball can move the direction. Yeah, the ball can moving up or moving down when the girl give force. So force affects the direction of object's movement. Now, let's talk about the difference between force and motion. Look at the picture. The boy and the girl, what are they doing? Yeah, Odin pulls the swing. Then he pushes it right. It means that Odin has given force to the swing. Do you still remember what is force? Aha! Yeah, force is an energy that causes the object position moves and the object direction or shape change. Yeah, force can be called a push or pull upon an object, resulting from the object's interaction with another object. So, force is an energy. Yeah. And now let's discuss about motion. The before explanation, we talk about force. The force that have been given by Odin to the swing are pulling and pushing, right? Consequently, the swing moves. Is it right? The swing moves. When it is pulled, the swing moves backward or get closer to Odin's direction. In contrast, when the swing is pushed, it moves forward or get farther to Odin's direction. So, now let's discuss what is motion. Aha, motion is a movement. The movement from one place to another. Jadi, motion itu adalah pergerakannya dari satu tempat ke tempat yang lain. And force is the energy. Yeah, motion can be called a movement of certain object's position from other objects, go forward or go back from its position when there is a force upon the object. Next, let's discuss about magnetic force. The interaction between two magnetic poles causes a force. It is called a magnetic force. Do you have magnet at home? Yeah. Magnetic force is a force that is produced when there is interaction between two magnetic poles. Magnet has two opposite ends. They are called poles North and South Pole. When the different poles meet, it will attract each other. Remember, when the different poles meet, it will attract each other. Otherwise, the same poles meet, it will repel. Jadi kalau dua sisi kutub yang berbeda bertemu, maka akan saling tarik-menarik. Tetapi kebalikannya, kalau mempunyai kutub yang sama dan bertemu, maka akan saling tolak-menolak. Look at this picture. The South Pole meets South Pole. Yeah. So, two same magnetic poles are not joined together or it will repel. The second picture, North Pole meet with South Pole. There are different poles, yeah, and they meet. So, it will attract each other. Two different magnetic poles are joined together. Now, that's all my explanation about force and motion today. And it's time for you. Your task is do the worksheet 2 of Thematic IPA or Thematic Science. And don't forget to review again my material about force and motion to do your worksheet, yeah? And I think enough for today, everyone. And see you next meeting. And happy fasting Ramadan. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.